Dear colleagues, we continue our working day. Now the floor is given to Minister of Defense of Ukraine, spokesman on ATO-related issues, Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk. Good afternoon, everyone. Now the information about the events that happened in the ATO area. The Lugansk area, the theater of military actions broadened. In Krymska, there were 2 short-term mortar shellings. Also, the enemy violated ceasefire in Stanitsa Luganska, Lobachevo, and in Popasnyansky region. Traditionally, the militants violated ceasefire during dark hours. And on the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Lugansk area, there were 8 shellings delivered by the enemy, 2 with the use of heavy weapons. Donetsk area, yesterday the situation deteriorated. And it deteriorated in the Avdiivka industrial area and its flanks. And in Kamenka and Avdiivka, shelling started at night between midnight and 3 a.m. The enemy used small arms and heavy weapons. During the second part of the day, the enemy engaged more forces. So Russian occupation forces started firing at about 3 p.m. and delivered fire throughout the day. The enemy fired from south and east direction, Yakovlivka, and they launched more than 100 mortar mines at our positions. Commanders of Russian occupation forces also used tanks. Aggressive actions of the militants brought suffering of civilians. In Avdiivka, a man died, 2 were lightly wounded. And also in the course of enemy shelling delivered by the militants, 3 houses were damaged. In several hours after escalation started, the enemy started to deliver distracting firing in North Kamenka and South Shakhta-Butivka positions. Also, they used mortars and tanks. In other parts, in Svetlodarsk Bulge near Gorlovka, in 3 places at once, also in the region of the Donetsk airport, the enemy opened fire with the use of heavy weapons. All these shellings were long-term and precision shellings. On the whole, during the last 24 hours, in the Donetsk area, the enemy carried out 21 shellings, 11 with the use of heavy weapons. Mariupol area. As previously, the heaviest military actions are in the south. In Pavlopil, there were 2 mortar shellings delivered by the militants, and in Shirokino, there was mortar and mortar shelling. Also, in Mariupol area, enemy snipers were active. Also, the situation traditionally tense, and the enemy deliver fire both at night and during the day. And 1 provocation was in Marianka, 1 in Novotroitsk, and 1 in Pavlopil. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Mariupol area, the enemy delivered 37 shellings, including 4 with the use of heavy weapons. During the last 24 hours, and the result of the military actions, unfortunately, we had losses. 3 servicemen killed and 10 were wounded. 1 serviceman died in Zaitsevo, 1 in Avdiivka, and 1 in Vodyane, Mariupolsk area, and 1 serviceman was wounded in Zaitsevo, 1 in Pisky, 1 in Vodyane, and 1 in Lebedynsky. The rest of the servicemen were wounded in Avdiivka. Our hearts go out to relatives of servicemen who died for Ukraine. Police officers detained a man in Slavyansk. It was identified that spring 2014 the man joined the militants and served at the checkpoint. And he confessed in cooperation with the enemy because he wanted to profit from this. And at the end of June, the militant understood that the occupation will end. That's why he left the militants and was hiding with his relatives.
At the same time, the policeman detained a person with grenades at the checkpoint in Bakhmut. He transported them in public bus Berdyansk-Severodonetsk. For this crime, he is likely to be sentenced for 7 years in jail. In Lysychansk, the policeman successfully conducted a sweep in Lysychansk, and they seized ammunition, legal ammunition, from residents. The grenade and 52 2 ammunition rounds. The detainees could not explain to law enforcement officers what for they needed dangerous items. Today, the police training is ongoing in Donetsk region. The goal of these exercises is to check capability to fast respond to the threats. All policemen were alerted, and the policemen arrived in full tactical gear. After ceremonial review and briefing, they were guard details formed to strengthen checkpost and additional mobile posts. In 1 hour, the law enforcement officers had taken control of all motor roads close to the contact line and the in and out roads in the region. The robust security regime will be enforced till the end of the day. The National Guard of Ukraine is in the ATO area conducted the fire exercises. Such exercises are regular and they are conducted in any weather. That's all information, friends. Are there any questions, please? We have a question due to the data on losses about civilians and military men. Can we talk about intensification of the fire? Yes, we can talk that we can tell that in Avdiivka district we now experience the next in turn intensification of hostilities, and this proves that the enemy is conducting continuous fire and is not going to stop. All help is provided to civilians who are affected by such enemy's actions. We don't have any questions. Thank you very much. Dear colleagues, the next event will be at 1 o'clock sharp.